So excited to have you tuning in with us on this evening, on this morning, depending on where you are right now. I'm excited to be able to share with you footage that has not been seen before. I just received it, and so I'm sharing it with you. I had a chance to teach at a singles conference last year, and the subject was the elephant room. And so I want to share with you 5 things that are sabotaging your relationships. But get this is what I need you to do right now. Make sure you either like, thumbs up, subscribe, follow, share this with someone so that someone can be blessed just like you're about to be. I'm excited to have you here. Thank you for tuning in with us. I'm loving what God is about to do in your life. Peace. Everybody, my name is Isaac Curry, and I'm so elated to be here with you. Today, I usually like to preach a text, teach a text, and provide for you relevant principles that we can apply in our relationships and our lives. Today, I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to give you a few different things from a few different angles, but anything I say or teach has its foundations, its tendrils found and rooted in the Word of God. So I might give you a passage, and I'm going to tell you today, I trust that you're going to go back and make that passage homework. If you have any questions about anything that I say, any passage that I pull out, email me. I will walk with you through it, and I promise you I will do that. The elephants are in the room. And today we're going to talk about the elephant room. 5 things keeping you from embracing God's love for you. The elephant room, the things that we don't want to talk about, the things that we don't want to confess, the things that we will not admit to, I'm going to try to lay them at your feet, on your lap. You don't have to agree with it, you can reject it, it's fine, but I have to preach it and teach it and share it with you. We're going to talk for a few minutes about the elephant room. 5 things that could potentially be keeping you from experiencing or embracing God's love for you. Somebody say amen. Amen. Y'all writing. Y'all gotta talk to me while we're writing. I need to know y'all with me because I'm about to share my first point. Y'all might disagree with it, but you just act like you agree with it because we have cameras rolling. All right? Let me jump right on in because the first one is very essential. The first thing that I want to share with you about the elephant room, and one thing I believe that is keeping you from embracing God's love for you, is you're not as good of a communicator as you think you are. Oh, I got a little help there. All I need is just a little help. That's all I need. If I get a little help, let's just jump right on in. All right. So let me try that again. One of the things that's keeping you from embracing God's love for you is that you're not as good of a communicator as you think you are.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got one help that time? Everybody say his brain.
His brain.
Her heart.
Her heart.
What do you say? When we do not celebrate the uniqueness of the other person, it often manifests itself in miscommunication in relationships. When we do not celebrate, or we fail to celebrate the uniqueness of the other person, it often manifests itself in constant miscommunication in relationships. I'm going to say it one more time. When we do not celebrate the uniqueness of the other person, it often manifests itself in constant miscommunication in relationships. Let's dig. Let's lean into it. At the very foundation of communication is what? Language. Everybody with me?
Yes.
At the foundation of communication is language. Language is only effective if the sender and the receiver both understand one another. Everybody with me? Y'all follow me? Y'all still with me?
Yes.
At the foundation of communication is language. Language is only effective if the sender and the receiver understand one another. So now I can lay the foundation. One of the greatest causes of disagreements is when a man is attempting to communicate in his native language, logic, and a woman is attempting to interpret what he is saying in her native language, emotions. At the very foundation of disagreements is when a man is trying to communicate to a woman in his native language. I'm not saying he can't be bilingual. I'm talking about his native language, which is logic. And a woman who's listening to him is only trying to interpret what he is saying through her native. I'm not saying she's not bilingual, but her native language is emotion. And when she's trying to interpret through emotion and he's trying to speak through logic, there's often going to be disagreements. All right, since there are more women than men, let me switch it around. Maybe I'll get a little help. At the very foundation of disagreements is when a woman is trying to communicate to a man in her native language, emotion, and a man is trying to interpret what she is saying through his native tongue, logic. And when he's trying to interpret what she's speaking through logic, there's going to be miscommunication. I'm working on a book right now called His Brain, Her Heart. The 5 principles of communicating better in relationships. I'm not talking about what I think. I'm telling you right now what I know. And I'm trying to help somebody because you think you are a better communicator than you really are. Because at the foundation of miscommunication, a man is not thinking what a woman is feeling. And a woman is not feeling what a man is thinking. Do I have some help in here? And when a woman is not feeling what a man is thinking, they're going to always come at a stalemate. Let me help you. You see a straight line on that board. It's a straight line on the board. When God created man, He created man a logical thinker. When God created man, He created man a logical thinker. He's linear in his thinking. What do I mean? When a man is thinking, he's thinking point A to point B. Look, you can finish my sentences. You have enough experience. When a man is thinking, he's thinking point A to point B. When a man is thinking, or when a man is trying to, he's solution-oriented. And when a man is processing, it's one thing at a time. And he's usually big picture. Miss me with this. What do you ultimately want to be? Just give me the bigger picture. What is it that you, just give me the bigger picture. I know he might not be talking often, but he's usually thinking silently, always coming up with a solution. A man is solutions oriented. I'm trying to help someone. And in that, a man is facts based.
Yeah.
Give me the information. When you usually argue with a man, it's usually he's giving facts. He is an analytical thinker, and everything is facts based. And when he speaks, he's usually speaking what he's thinking and not what he's feeling. A man factually analyzes everything. Give me the facts, not what you think, what you know. Give me, what happened. No, not what you think. Give me what happened. Give me the facts. He's listening for facts first, not feelings. I'm coming. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna draw a brain on the board. You see this brain? It doesn't look like one, but humor me. And the brain is broken into two hemispheres. You got that analytical, and then you got that feeling or that emotional. When it comes to a man, yes, he can go from one hemisphere to the other hemisphere, but he needs a little time.
Well,
He can't just shift from one hemisphere to the other like a woman. He just needs a little time and sometimes a little assistance. The way God created man is a logical thinker, not necessarily an emotional filler. What are you saying, Isaac? Let me help you. So let's talk about women for a minute. When you see a man, linear, let me teach.
I know. Heavy side.
One thing at a time. Now, when you start giving a whole lot, we're overwhelmed. We didn't purchase flood insurance and we shut down. Our pupils dilate because too much going on. Just come back to the facts, not just get out the field. Come back to the facts. You know. All right. So when you look at a woman, God created woman not a logical thinker, but an emotional filler.
Okay.
It's not. See, if you've been told that you're so emotional, then when I say emotional filler, you feel some type of way. No, God, a man's always right. It's just the way he was wired. And a woman is always just so emotional. No, something about celebrating the uniqueness of your partner, right? So let's talk about women for a minute. I've taken this to Africa, I've taken this to other places, and it's never failed me yet. Watch this. God created man a logical thinker. He created woman an emotional filler. And when she thinks, it's like a grid. There is no point A to point B. That's why women, give me details. Give me I want all of the details. All of the details. This is why women, she needs to know details. Give me every small detail. As a matter of fact, this is why women are greater multitaskers than men. You can have a baby in your belly. You could be on the phone handling business, at the desk, also with your other hand doing something with the computer, have something on the stove cooking, and also cleaning up the house, preparing for next week. But a man, I took out the trash. What else do you need me to do? No shade. I'm saying not just one thing at a time. If you want the best me, let me do one thing at a time. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not solutions oriented. I don't have things in my head, but I'm going to accomplish one thing, scratch it off. Next thing, scratch it off. Too many details. A woman, let me tell you something. She needs all the details. See, your point A is here. Here we go up here. We go here. We go over here. Back down here. Over here. here, here, and you might end up right here. You need your mind is agreed and you do it effortlessly. This is the way God created you. I'm trying to help you. Now, when we look at the brain of a woman, you have the analytical and you have the feeling. See, with the man, we have to be in one hemisphere. Take our time. We can get to the other hemisphere, but it got to be intentional. But with a woman, you can go back and forth. This is not what Isaac thinks. This is scientifically proven. You can go from feelings into analytical. You can go back and forth through your hemispheres effortlessly. But men, we need just a little time. Yeah, are y'all listening to me? Yeah. Therefore, when a woman speaks, she usually is speaking what she is feeling and not what she is thinking. And at the foundation, I say it again, I'm going to say it one more time, at the foundation of the miscommunication is that a man is not thinking what a woman is feeling. And a woman is not feeling what a man is thinking. Let me give you an illustration. I'll take it home here. There's a man and a woman. They're both married, right? And so the woman discovered while the man is at work that her parents are going to come home for the weekend to their house. Just pop up. They're going to pop up at her house for the weekend, right? There's nothing to eat. She has to think about what she's going to cook. The house is a mess. The children have had a long day at school. They need to take a bath. They need to eat. She's thinking about all these things. He comes in and he discovers that her parents are coming home for the weekend and she doesn't know what she's going to cook. The house is a mess. The children have had a long day at school. They haven't taken a bath. They need to eat. So what does he do? He thinks to himself, how can I help to solve the problem? This is what he does. Him. Everybody say him.
Him.
I tell you what, baby. Let's go out to eat so you don't have to worry about cooking for the family tonight. Yeah. And this is what she says. No. There are leftovers in the refrigerator that need to be gone for tomorrow. And the children been out all day. They need to take a bath so they can get in the bed. He's like, oh, okay, cool. All right, so he comes back. Everybody say him.
Him.
He says, okay, I tell you what, I'll go grocery shopping so you don't have to worry about getting the food from the store. She says, no. Why? I don't know what I'm going to cook yet. I won't know that till tomorrow. He says, okay, all right, cool. I'll tell you what, I got the solution. He says, all right, everybody say him.
Him.
He says, I have the perfect idea. Let me clean up. You said the house is a mess. Let me clean up the house so you don't have to worry about cleaning up the house. She says, no. Because you don't know where everything needs to go. And I'm going to have to turn around and come behind you and put everything where it needs to go, which makes extra work. Now they arguing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they arguing, you ask? I'm here to help you. When she mentioned to him the issue, the house is a mess. The children had a long day from work, a long day at school. They need to take a bath. They need to eat. They need to get in the bed. And I don't know what. When she mentioned to him the issue, what she was really sharing with him was that she was overwhelmed. And what she was really saying to him is that I just need you to come behind me, to kiss me, to tell me I'm doing a good job and that everything's going to be okay and you got it. That's what she really was asking him to do. But when he heard her communicate what she was saying, he went straight to logical thinking. You said the house is a mess. Right. You said you don't know what you're going to cook. You said the children had a long day, and I'm trying to resolve each of those issues at the very heart of miscommunication and disagreements is when I don't learn how to feel what she is saying, and she doesn't learn how to think what he's communicating. And so if we're going to find a solution and if we're going to be able to communicate better, women have to become bilingual, men have to become bilingual, but you have to step out of your own self and learn how to, hey, what is she feeling. And I know when she talks, she's always talking because women process out loud. They say so much is coming out of their mouth, and men, when you start talking, we're writing it on the ledger. This is what you said, though, and I'm just going by what came out your mouth. Yes, it came out of her mouth, but much of that is what she's feeling, not what she's thinking. And if you learn that it's another language she's speaking, and if you can learn to speak her language, and if she can learn how to speak your language, we lessen. I'm trying to help you all. We lessen the disagreements. So, we'll move to the next one. And I was supposed to tell you that women have to help men to shift gears a little more, because y'all shift effortlessly. You just got to be a little more patient. And sometimes you might need to preface your statement. Hey, I'm feeling some type of way. I need you to hear me. I'm just processing. I'm about to process. So that when you say I'm about to process, and I know that everything that comes out of your mouth is not concrete, it's not gospel, you're just trying to get through it. And if a man is silent and a man is quiet, doesn't mean that he's not paying attention. Because many times internally, we're trying to find the solutions in our brain. Let's move on to the next one. I spent too much time with that. The next elephant is, or the thing that could be keeping you from embracing God's love for you, is that you treat singleness like a layover to a connection flight in marriage. You treat singleness like a layover on a connection flight to marriage. You treat singleness like a layover on a connection flight to marriage. In other words, we mismanage our singleness. In other words, we mismanage our singleness. If marriage is the goal, if marriage is the destination, we always run the risk of treating singleness like it's an inconvenience. If marriage is the goal, and if marriage is the destination, we will always run the risk of treating singleness like it's an inconvenience. The truth of the matter is, marriage is a journey. Marriage is a blessing just as much as singleness is. All right, let me help you. I hate layovers. I fly often, right? I fly often, and I hate layovers. I hate layovers because they don't make any sense. If I'm going somewhere and I have to take a layover, I'm often going to try to find a way to not take the flight and maybe get out of the event engagement, because I don't like layovers. Why? Because if you've ever had some flights with some bad layovers, and you've had some things get disconnected and some things get canceled, then you'll understand. I hate layovers. You have to stop at an extra place. You don't know how long you're going to be there. It's often boring, nothing relevant's going on. You probably have never been at this place before. You have to sit and you have to wait unless you're one of the people who has a quick layover, and then you got to run out of shape. You got to run from one place to another place, sweating, hoping and praying that the flight doesn't leave you. The thing about layovers, if you don't move quick enough, then you might miss the destination. And if you've ever had a flight to be canceled for you, you don't know what it's like to be in a state or a city you've never been, and you got to stay at a hotel you've never stayed before, and you had a bad experience. I hate layovers. I hate them because you have to stop, and it's just inconveniencing. I just want to get straight to where I'm supposed to go. I don't want to have to stop anywhere. I don't want to have to wait long. I don't want to have to act like I'm glad to be here and watch the TV that I don't want to watch. I just want to get to my destination. What are you talking about? All right, so I recently went to Kenya just a few months ago, right? I went to Africa. I took a few of my people there. We held a conference there, right? But our layover before we got to Kenya was in Paris, France. Yeah, that's what I was hoping somebody would make that type of response, you know. I was in Paris, France, but I hate layovers, right? I hate layovers because they're inconveniencing and you don't like where you're usually going, and it's just, you know, it's just boring. But we had a layover in Paris. Oui, you know, so we pull up in Paris, a layover of which I do not like, but we're like, hold on, we in Paris. For 8 hours. Ooh. You think I'm gonna stay at the airport for 8 hours? No, sister, no, bro. I'm I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna get out into Paris, and we're gonna explore, because we're gonna maximize this layover experience. Everybody say layover experience.
Layover experience.
How can you be
Let
miserable?
me see if I can make it clear. So we get out of the plane, we walk into the airport, and to our discovery, it is so hot. We pull up in Paris airport, the air conditioning, something ain't working, it's so hot. And so we like, man, it's so hot. Why is it so hot in this airport? So it's like, hopefully when we get outside, it'll feel better. We get outside and it's even hotter outside. It's like 115 degrees. We're like, hold on, I have sweats on. We all not dressed for the occasion, so everybody goes change clothes. I don't have my clothes on the flight somewhere, so I'm here not dressed for the occasion. And so we're outside and it's 115 degrees. It's just so hot. So we was like, all right, we're going to make the best of this, but we tired. It's hot inside the airport. It's hot outside. So we get a cab. We just like, man, we try to get, and we walked around downtown and stuff, and everybody was so happy. I'm like, why y'all so happy? It's hot outside. Everybody happy. They act like it's not 115 degrees. It's hot inside the airport. It's hot outside. We just complaining because we don't like the experience, because I'm tired. Look, the food is, man, we had a bad, you know what, man, let's get to Kenya. But you can't get to, France and you don't see the Eiffel Tower. So it's like, look, man, we've been here. It's hot. Like, it's not dressed for the occasion. It's just, man, we hungry. Everybody happy. We don't know why everybody's so happy, why everybody's smiling like it's not hot outside. So we get to the Eiffel Tower. You know what we did? We told the taxi, you don't leave. We just want to take some pictures. So we took pictures from afar off. We said, we seen the Eiffel Tower. All right, we took pictures. The taxi was still going. The meter's still going. We didn't stop long. We just parked for a quick second. We still touching the cab. We get back in the vehicle. Get up to the airport, man, because shoot, man, it's so hot. Everybody's so happy. We just tired. We're just complaining about the circumstances.
All right.
That's a good one right there.
When there's some people who would die to go to Paris, France. And here we are in Paris, France, and all we're doing is complaining about our circumstances. We get back to the airport, try to get some food. Food wasn't the best, made my stomach bubble a little bit. Man, Paris. Get to Kenya, to my discovery, no lie, true story. As I was taking, look at the time step, as I was taking photos of the Eiffel Tower, my idol, my family, Steph Curry and his wife, were also at the Eiffel Tower, just chilling, taking pictures, talking to people, and just welcoming people. Y'all missed it. I missed an opportunity to meet somebody who was there where I was because I was focused on my circumstances. And how many times in your layover experience could God have somebody He's trying to introduce you to, somebody He's trying to have you to meet, but you're so focused on your layover experience that you miss what God is trying to introduce you to. Because it's too hot, I don't have the right clothes, the food is alright, everybody's so happy, nobody paying attention to the temperature. I don't even like Paris because I didn't like my experience. And so when you treat singleness as a layover on a connection flight to marriage, you'll mess around and miss what God is trying to do, because all you're doing is focusing on your circumstance. Somebody said amen.
Amen.
There's another one. Number 3. How am I doing with time?
I don't know.
15. Man, I'm sure I was last time. All right. Speed up, Isaac. Okay. Number 3. Number 3. The thing that could be keeping you from embracing God's love for you is your hunger for companionship outweighs your hunt for more of Jesus in your life. Don't worry, I'll say it again.
Say that again.
Your hunger for companionship outweighs your hunt for more of Jesus in your life. See, you won't admit to it. That's why we got to call it the elephant room. You won't confess it. I have to let you know that this is one of the things that could be keeping you from embracing God's love for your life, is that your hunger for a boo, your hunger for companionship outweighs your hunt or your appetite for more of Jesus in your life. What do you say? When your hunger for companionship outweighs your appetite for more of Jesus, you will always make an idol out of your relationship.
Yeah.
You ain't got to tell me, look, I've been doing this for a minute. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I just package it in a way that sounds great, but it's the truth. When your hunger for companionship outweighs your hunt for more of Jesus, you will eventually make an idol out of your relationship. And number two, you will destroy I and me for us and we. You will destroy I, me, for us and we. You should always choose me before we. But when you enter into a relationship and you more than acquiesce to whoever the other person is because you can't see yourself anymore, it's because you've been hungering for him or for her more than you hunger for Jesus. When your devotion for him or for her outweighs your devotion to him, you're going to have an issue. I got to keep moving because time is of the essence. I want to help you. I got to help you here. Number four, the elephant in the room. Elephants in the room. The elephant room, another thing that's keeping you from embracing God's love for your life is this. It's very important. You don't know how to identify and navigate the appropriate levels in the relationship. You don't know how to identify or navigate the appropriate levels in relationships. You do not know how to identify and navigate the appropriate levels in relationships. I'm going to help you. The first level in relationships is not a myth. It's actually not a myth. You heard it probably before, but you probably have never practiced it. You've never seen it, but let me help you. The first level is what they call the friendship phase. Probably never heard of it before. Probably never practiced it before. There's a friendship phase. And then there is a dating phase. Like, what? That's different? And then there is a courting phase. Now, my brother David Burrows helped me to tease this out. He provided this, and I helped to elaborate now on it. There's friendship, there's dating, there's courting, and then there is the engagement phase. What? There's different engagement. Engagement phase. And let me help you. We don't know how to identify and effectively navigate through each of the phases. And when you don't know how to identify with clarity and navigate with efficiency, you'll always find yourself in a relationship breakdown. Right? And so when you have the friendship phase, this is the phase where you're just getting to know one another, strictly on a platonic level. No commitment. Everybody say no?
No.
Commitment.
Commitment.
Contrary to popular belief,
Right.
in the friendship phase, in your mind, you've made the commitment. Your actions say something different than your words, and there's commitment all over the place. But when in the friendship phase, you have to be able to navigate, don't miss this, intrigued by, attracted to, and interested in. In the friendship phase, you're supposed to be able to navigate intrigued by, attracted to, and interested in. Those are three things, and sometimes what you will do is you'll think you're interested in somebody when you're only intrigued by them. And then now you're sitting down with the commitment down here in the engagement phase and realize he can't hold a straight conversation, or you realize that she doesn't have substance to her dialogue, but that happens because you didn't identify or navigate effectively. I'm sorry I get so excited, but you don't navigate effectively the different phases, you were just intrigued. Then you might find that you are attracted. But when you get to the point where you can say, yeah, I'm interested in, then you can proceed. Now let me help you. Women control the tempo. Men control the temperature. Don't ever forget that. If you don't remember anything else I said, women control the tempo. No matter what you say, what you do, you say the yes and the no.
All right.
How fast you move between these is all on the woman. But the temperature doesn't change until he says, well, you married me. You can try to propose all you want to him, but I'm going to stick strictly to what I believe. Women control the tempo. Men control the temperature. So I'm interested in you. So then you move to the dating phase. Now the dating phase, let me help you. The dating phase is where the two of you are being more intentional with your time together. Did y'all miss me? You're being more intentional with your time together. Keep your legs closed.
All right.
Yep.
Keep your mouth off of.
All right.
Oh, I'm not supposed to say that? We're in the elephant room, everybody. So listen. In the dating phase, you're just being more intentional with your time with one another. In the dating phase, you are collecting the data. And after you've got all of the data, then you can determine if you want to proceed. Because all you're doing in this phase is being more intentional with your time. No commitment. I know that's contrary to what you believe and what you've been taught. There is no commitment in the dating phase because all we're doing is collecting data and we're being more intentional with our time. Some of us, see women, you done already moved from friendship and you're 3 years, light years ahead of him. You're already in the engagement phase, mentally and physically, he's still in the friendship phase. Because you done moved so much more faster and you're telling him, I need you to keep up. He's like, I didn't know we were in this When you get to the courting phase, this is the phase where you make a full commitment. It's just me and you, boo. And in this phase, you're making a full commitment, you're exclusive, with marriage being the objective. Commitment, full commitment. People are like, I never heard of it. We don't do no courting. It's because you hadn't allowed courting. You don't get what you desire, you get what you allow. We don't identify and we don't properly or effectively or efficiently navigate through the different phases. I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. But let me help you. In the courting phase, yes, we're dating, we're together, full commitment, and the goal is marriage. I've gathered the data. We've spent time. I know that I'm interested in you. I'm not just intrigued by you. Because he can smell good can only last so long. 6'5" can only do so much for you. I might be talking about tall men because I'm not as tall. But it can be tall. All of your preferences. You got the engagement phase. And this is the phase when you get engaged where you're now having challenging conversations and you're planning the wedding and focusing on the marriage. Y'all didn't hear the 3 things that I said because some of us, all we hear when we say engagement is wedding. The engagement is dealing with difficult conversations, planning the wedding, and focusing on the marriage. And when engagement only consists of planning the wedding, you're going to often have relationship breakdown or you're going to have divorce rates the way we have them. Because here's the problem. Many of us are having the right conversations but in the wrong phase. There's some conversations you're trying to have over here somewhere in between this friendship and dating phase that should only happen in the engagement phase. Did you know that many of the non-negotiables that you say you have, because you got to have a man who's this tall, a man who, all of those are just requirements and prerequisites for you to date him. Think about it. He has to have this. He has to have a car. He has to have. None of that matters when you begin to have difficult conversations about how are we going to handle problems. How are we going to make decisions? Are we egalitarian or are we complementarian? What are you saying? That's the point. You don't even know anything I'm talking about because we don't have the difficult conversations in engagement. What I mean is when we come to a point in our marriage where we both are talking about a decision that we can't agree on, are we just going to decide nothing gets done? That's egalitarian. We're both co-equal, and if we can't agree, it doesn't get done. That may work for you, but not for me, because some things have to happen. But in a complementarian, you'll say, we're both equal, yes, we both talk to each other, but when we get to a point where we may not agree, you will submit and say, because you submit to the Lord, I don't agree, but I trust in you because you are submitting to God. See, we're like, what? If we always got to agree before a decision gets made, we'll be at a lot of standstills. That's true. But the point is this, even if you're not vibing what I'm saying is, it's when you get in the engagement phase that many of these conversations need to begin taking place. And they should not take place if the commitment is not there. We having all of these conversations in the dating phase, and there is no commitment. When he commits, there should be permission to start having dialogue about heavy things. Talking about my bank account, my credit score. Now, we can talk about that when we get around in this area over here. Not when we all up here. You don't need to know all that. You need to know my character. But you don't need to know my credit score. My credit score can be jacked up, but I need you to look at my credit, my character, though. Y'all not. Listen to this. When you don't navigate the phases properly, you will be stubborn with your preferences and flexible with your standards. When you do not navigate these phases properly, you will be stubborn with what you need to be flexible with, and you'll be flexible with what you need to be stubborn with.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's good.
When you do not navigate these phases, thank you, Burroughs, if you do not navigate these phases well, you will fail to read the fine print before you make the purchase. And before you ever purchase something, before you ever give a commitment to something, you need to read the fine print to make sure that you can afford the payments. I'm trying to help you. If you do not navigate effectively, you will always settle for pretenders and representatives. Everyone you meet, you always meet their representative. The representative always precedes the person. Which is why when you date somebody, you're gathering the data, it needs to be for a full season. I need to see how you are when it's hot outside. I need to see your behavior when it's cold and chilly and we can't go anywhere. I need to see you when your allergies, I need to see you when things do not go the way you want them to go. How do you handle stress? But when you move so quickly from here to here, all the way to here, then you'll be in the engagement phase with somebody who is not who you. It's nothing worse than to be attached to somebody you thought you knew. I'm trying to help somebody. I can't get to the last point, but I'll get you to this. If you don't navigate effectively,
thank you. I appreciate that.
if you don't navigate effectively, you will end up making the other person a home improvement project.
Oh my.
If you don't navigate effectively, you think you're interested in when you're only intrigued by, and then now you're all the way over here in the courting engagement phase, and now you're beginning to see some character traits or red flags of the other person, and now you're trying to you gotta make it work. And you'll make that person a home improvement project. You shouldn't have to fix him to love him. He shouldn't have to save you to be with you. Look, I don't have any time left. And I have one whole point left. I'll just give you the point, but it has scriptures and stuff assigned to it. But I'll give you the point. They can be mad. Listen. The last point is this: if you're not careful, you'll put the relationship before rehabilitation. I wish I could go into it.
2 seconds.
The relationship should always come before rehab.
Wow.
I mean, no. Rehab should always come before the relationship.
Okay.
I will write it up there. I have rehab, and then I have relationship. Rehabilitation should always come before the relationship. And when rehab does not come before the relationship will become rehab. Amen. You missed it. If you put the relationship before you put rehab, the relationship will become rehab. And you'll move into this relationship and you'll expect this person to fix you.
All right.
Oh, you're so busy trying to fix them. Somebody said amen.
Amen.
Do me a favor. There's a lot of content in there dealing with Esau and his brother Jacob and how he did not deal with the yoke that he was supposed to shake from around his neck because he was upset. Because when you leave home, you often leave home emotionally underdeveloped. I'm not just talking about rehabbing from your past relationship. I'm also talking about dealing with the you that you can't outrun even from your childhood. Right? You can't outrun you. But you send me an email. I promise to give you my notes. And I promise to give you the text to go to. I'll tell you to go to Genesis 27. I'll tell you to go to Obadiah 1. I'll tell you to go to Ezekiel 35, verses 5 through 7. And you're understanding in Ezekiel chapter 35 that God is upset with Esau and says because he had ancient anger, perpetual anger that he never dealt with his brother. And as a result, everybody in his lineage was killed. Because he didn't rehab. Hey, we're so glad. I'm glad that you were able to tune in and to listen to this message. I pray that something was said to bless you today. If so, make sure you put it in the comment section and like this and share it with someone. Again, you can always feel free to join us here at Relationships Without Walls, or you can find us on YouTube at Isaac Curry. We are a growing community and we want to help you to do relationships better. If you're watching this on replay, let us know you're watching it. We appreciate